Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm so excited. This is my first full-length video. I have a bunch of videos in my shorts, so you should check those out too. But this is my first video, full-length video, and I'm so excited. My name is Nana. Let me introduce myself. My name is Nana, and I am a nurse practitioner, but I also happen to have Sisterlocks. And so thus my channel is going to be, I'm going to be talking about a combination of things, nursing school things, nurse practitioner school things, and all things locks, because I love all things locks, natural hair. So if you like what you see, go ahead and click subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know whenever I post. And also follow me on social media. I'm gonna post the links and stuff in my description, but you will find me on TikTok and Instagram as TheLockdNurse. That's TheLockd nurse, TheLockdNurse. I'm doing a little bit of both. Okay, so let's go ahead and get it started. Like I was saying before, this channel is going to be a combination of nursing things and hair things, a lot of things about locks. But this video is going to be about locks, and so I'm going to be sharing a little bit about my hair journey, natural hair journey. I had been relaxed since I couldn't even remember when. My mom relaxed my hair. I don't even remember. I had been relaxed for years and years and years. And then back in, early 2000s, I think. This is way before locks, or not, I'm sorry, natural hair was even cool. I just chopped off all my relaxed hair because I just didn't like it. My hair was lifeless, it was thin, it was really like unhealthy looking, and I didn't even know what my natural hair looked like. So I just went ahead and I did a big chop. I went all out. I just like chopped it all off, and I was damn near bald. But I loved it. I loved what grew out. I was like, oh my gosh, like I could have been wearing my natural hair this whole time. I love my natural hair. It's curly, it's full, it's healthy, and I said never again with the relaxers, never again. And so I just kind of like rocked it as a new loose natural for years. I think probably I did my big shop in 2005 maybe, and I rocked the loose natural for years. And I was never really like a big product person. I never really used much products, but my hair always looked good, and it was never really dry. I never had really like any scalp issues, so I was blessed that way. And so I just rocked my loose natural until I just kind of like wanted a change. And I've never been a weave person or a wig person, so I've never worn a wig or a weave or anything. I like braids, so I used to braid my hair a lot. So I did that, in and out once in a while, but most of the time I just rocked my hair loose in a ponytail or whatnot. And then I just kind of got to the point where I just wanted something new, and I had seen like all these videos on Instagram and TikTok and stuff with these black women with beautiful hair, and I heard about Sisterlocks, and I was like, what is this? Let me do my research. I would love my hair to look like that. It looks so much more manageable. It's really versatile. You can pretty much treat it as your loose natural, except it's like so much more manageable. And so I said, let me do my research. And so I did the research. So I went and it's been 13 months now, almost 14 months. It was March of last year is when I decided to take the plunge and go ahead and lock my hair. So I have Sisterlocks, and with all my research, I had never heard of Microlocs. It was after I got the Sisterlocks that I heard about the Microlocs. In all honesty, I might have gotten Microlocs if I had known about them before, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that when I get to it. But I just went ahead and got my Sisterlocks last March it was, so it's been a little bit over a year, and I have never loved my hair more. Like, my hair is manageable. Like, I can get up and shake my head and be ready to go for the day. Put it in a ponytail, do whatever. It always looks good. I get so many compliments, and it's just, I love the way that my natural hair is filling out and is doing its thing with being locked. And so I've been like campaigning, going around and telling every natural person, or even any black women, any black woman that I see, that you should consider locking your hair, even if it's not Sisterlocks, even if it's microlocks or traditional locks, whichever one, you should really consider it. So I am part of a lot of Facebook Sisterlock, Microlock, traditional lock groups, and one of the biggest questions that people ask over and over and over in those groups are, what is the difference between Sisterlocks and microlocks? And sometimes traditional locks too. People want to know the difference between all three, and that's what this video is about. I'm going to talk a little bit more about what the three of them are, what the differences are, and you can go ahead and make your decision as to which one you want. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Sisterlocks. That's what I have, and Sisterlocks are basically it's a patent. It's basically a patented way of doing locks. So the big difference between that and microlocks is that there is a patent on Sisterlocks, and there is no patent on microlocks. So the analogy that I like to use is, when you go to Walmart and you see like the name brand stuff and the stuff that's Equate, which is like the Walmart brand, they're pretty much exactly the same, but the Equate brand is a little bit cheaper. That's usually what I go with, because they're exactly the same. It's just the name brand is a little bit more. That's kind of like what Sisterlocks and microlocks are. So Sisterlocks, somebody, patented the grid. That's the big thing, is the grid, is the way that they kind of do the parts. There's a very specific way that Sisterlock consultants do that. And microlock consultants, they don't go by any particular grid. The other thing too is that Sisterlocks have to be more than 400 locks on your head. So microlocks can be any number. It could be more than 400, it could be less than 400, but the big thing, like I said, is the grid. The Sisterlocks have a website, and that's where usually most people go to find their consultants, their locticians. You can just Google it; it's easily found online. What the other difference between Sisterlocks and microlocks is that so Sisterlocks have certified consultants and microlocks don't, and Sisterlocks tend to be more expensive also, especially at the installation. From what I've been hearing and the research that I've been doing, microlocks tend to be a couple $100 cheaper, maybe. But the maintenance, which we call them retightenings or reties, are usually, they seem to me to be about, similar pricing, comparable. I don't think that they're that much different between the two, the Sisterlocks and the microlocks. It's just the installation, which is the first big appointment that you're going to have, is more expensive when you're getting Sisterlocks. I've heard people, sometimes in the 2000s, and it depends on where you live. It depends on how dense your hair is, how long your hair is, and a bunch of other things. Your best bet is to go for a consultation, and you can talk about all the things. You can talk about how you want the locks to look like, if you want them small like mine, or if you like them a little bit chunkier. That was not the look that I wanted to go for. This was kind of what I wanted, and it depends on you. It depends on what you want your hair to look like, and your best bet is to go for a consultation and talk about that. My loctician that I spoke with, I live in the Charlotte area, and she was great. She listened to what I said, and she knew, just by listening to what I was describing about my hair and what I wanted to look like, she knew exactly the amount of locks that I needed, and she looked at the length and the density and everything. She was able to make it look exactly the way that I wanted. The installations are long. Most of the time, at least a day, most of the time 2 days. Mine was about 19 hours. The first day we were there probably 17 hours, and the second day was about 3.5 hours. It takes a long time, especially if you like them small like me. So you have to be ready, and that's the same with microlocks. If you want them small, you're going to be hanging out a long time too for at your appointment. So Sisterlocks and microlocks, in terms of the installation time, I think they're about the same. The big thing, like I said, is the grid and the pricing. I think those are like the two big differences. The other thing too is that microlocks, from what I've heard, can be started with either a double-stranded twist, or they can be interlocked, or they can be braid locks also. So the way that you start them also can give like a different look. From what I hear, double-stranded twists give a more like a fuller look, and people usually like that because, you know, that in the beginning stage, you know, you look like what they call a plucked chicken. You know, your scalp is all out. You're very scalpy look. A lot of people don't like that, so they will use the double-stranded twists to kind of combat that and give it some more volume. But you can only do that if you're getting microlocks. The other thing with microlocks is that you can get extensions. If your hair is really short and you don't feel like, you know, that's the look that you want, you can add extensions. But that's only with microlocks. With Sisterlocks, they never add extensions. They only use your hair, and they can only be interlocked. They can't. They never use braids or double-stranded twist. They only use, they have this specific tool, and if you Google that also, you find that, and I think they sell it on Amazon too, I think. But you can only start that with interlocking. But with microlocks, you can do several different methods to start them with. The question that I had was, can Sisterlocks be maintained by anyone? I mean, really, what you really only need a certified Sisterlock consultant to do is to establish your grid, right? I mean, anybody can, if they know how to interlock, anybody can maintain somebody that was started with Sisterlocks. I don't know. If you guys know the answer, comment down below, because I've been trying to find the answer to that, and I haven't gotten an answer to that. For the microlocks, anybody can do the maintenance, but I'm saying for Sisterlocks, can anybody do the maintenance, including yourself? If you wanted to self-maintain, you could probably do it yourself, right? I mean, I don't see why you shouldn't be able to. But yeah, that was a question I had. If you know the answer, please comment down below, because I would love to know. And then the last thing is traditional locks. I had actually a traditional locks for maybe 3 years. When I first started them, they were pretty thin, but then as they matured and got thicker, I just didn't like the look anymore. That was not the look that I was going for, and so I just chopped them all off. I chopped them all off and, you know, started growing my hair again. I've chopped my hair off a few times. I chopped them all off, started growing it again, and then eventually got the Sisterlocks. But traditional locks are usually started by palm rolling. And those are usually, I think, probably in terms of number of locks, probably like 100 to 200. Not that many, not nearly as many as Sisterlocks or Microlocs. And so, you know, those are for the people that like, you know, the chunky kind of lock look. And not all of us like that, but some people really do. So that's if that's what you're going for, that's probably going to be your best bet. That's usually started by palm rolling, and so they do this thing, and they use lock gel to usually do the maintenance for that. Maintenance is about the same. I would say probably 6 to 8 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks for Sisterlocks or Microlocks. You go for the maintenance. Another thing to mention is also the maintenance also depends in terms of the price. Also depends on kind of where you live and how many locks you have. Ranging anywhere from like $80 to $200. I've heard some people pay $300, which I think is a little much, but for traditional locks, I believe the maintenance is definitely not as expensive as the rest of them are. The remaining two are. But if you want that, you know, chunky lock look, traditional locks is probably your best bet. Traditional locks are also more widely known as dreadlocks, but we don't like that name anymore because it gives like it's got a negative connotation, and our natural hair is not. There's nothing negative about our natural hair. It is beautiful. So we call them traditional locks now, and not dreadlocks, like dreadful. We don't like that. So ultimately, it really is, you know, about you, what you want your hair to look like, what you want out of the growth of your hair, what you're willing to pay, what you're willing to deal with in terms of maintenance. You know, if you're somebody like me who doesn't mind sitting hours and hours, just as long as that my hair can look good and I can just get up and go, Sisterlocks, Microlocks, probably for you. You can do that. But you know, there are some people who really like don't want to sit for hours and hours, but they still want to be able to have an easy hairstyle, or hair lifestyle. That's probably a better way to say it. And traditional locks might be for you. It depends. You just got to kind of do your research, weigh the pros and cons. Do you have consultants in your area? That's a big one. A lot of times people have a really hard time finding Sisterlock or Microlock consultants in their area, and they have to travel a long time. But you also have to also consider that there are traveling locticians. That's also something, that's also an option that you have. And you can find them on Instagram. I have some contacts. If you want them, you can just let me know. But ultimately, it's up to you. And you just have to kind of figure out what you want your hair to look like. And I just want to say that this is the most that I've loved my hair. My hair is healthy, is like shiny. I don't ever remember my hair like looking like shiny without me having to put any products. That's the other thing too. You're using minimal products. All I usually spray on my hair is water, or rose water, is usually it. Or I'll do a braid out and just spray water, and that's it. And it looks hydrated. My scalp, I used to have really bad dandruff. I don't even know how that works, because I used to have really bad dandruff and I just don't have dandruff anymore. I don't know. I think it's the just doing as little with your hair as possible. Such a low manipulation, such low stress on your hair, that I think it just thrives, and your scalp thrives, and everything thrives. So I'm a little biased because I love them, but it is up to you. It's up to you. Just if you have any other questions, just comment down below. I'll be happy to answer them. And thank you again for joining and watching this whole video. I hope that it was informative. If you have any other questions, let me know. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you like what you see, and hit the notification bell. But I will see you next time. Bye.